Hey everyone, I've got a story to share with you all about my life, and trust me, it's been quite the journey. My name is Greta and I've been disabled since birth. Now, before you start feeling sorry for me, let me tell you how my life turned out to be way more amazing than I ever imagined. Growing up, I had my fair share of challenges. Society often made it seem like living a normal life was out of reach for me, but I refused to let that define me. Sure, there were times when I felt frustrated, but I always believed that with hard work and determination, I could create a life I loved. One thing that kept me going was my supportive family, especially my wonderful mother-in-law, Irma. She's an absolute gem. From the moment Oliver and I tied the knot, Irma embraced me like her own daughter. Her unwavering love and encouragement gave me the strength to pursue my dreams. Shortly after marrying my amazing husband, Oliver, I stumbled upon a remote job opportunity in content writing and affiliate marketing. Being an online job, it seemed like a perfect fit for me. I could work from the comfort of my home and manage my schedule according to my needs. Now, let me tell you, it wasn't all smooth sailing. Starting a new job, especially in an online space, came with its own set of challenges. But I was determined to succeed. I poured my heart and soul into my work, constantly honing my writing skills and learning everything I could about affiliate marketing. As time went on, I was pleasantly surprised to see my hard work paying off. The best part was that I started earning a considerable amount of money from my job. I never thought I'd make this much, but life had other plans for me. I was ecstatic, and Oliver was incredibly proud of my achievements. Within a year, my income reached a jaw-dropping $25,000 a month. I couldn't believe it. I went from doubting my abilities to becoming a successful content writer and affiliate marketer. It was like a dream come true, and I felt a sense of fulfillment that I had never experienced before. With the money coming in, Oliver and I were able to live more comfortably than we ever imagined. We traveled to places we'd always dreamed of, made memorable experiences, and even supported causes close to our hearts. It was a whirlwind of joy and gratitude. But you know what? The most amazing part of this journey wasn't just a financial success. It was the realization that my disability didn't define me or my capabilities. I found my passion and my purpose and discovered that I could achieve anything I set my mind to. So here I was, a disabled woman bound to a wheelchair, experiencing incredible success in my career and basking in the love and adoration of my husband, Oliver. Life seemed almost perfect except for one aspect that left a shadow on my happiness. My relationship with my mother-in-law, Irma. You see, Irma lived all the way in Germany, and we had barely interacted since Oliver and I got married. The few times we did communicate were through video calls, and let me tell you, those interactions were far from pleasant. I vividly remember the first time we met face-to-face on a Zoom call. Ah, Greta, such a German name, but do you even know anything about German culture or speak the language? I tried to explain. Well, Irma, I was born and raised in the US, and my parents never really exposed me to our German roots, so I'm not fluent in German or familiar with all aspects of the culture, but I'm glad to have gotten to know Oliver because now I feel like I have another chance of reconnecting with my culture. How can you claim a culture that technically isn't even yours? Mom, stop it. What? She said it herself, didn't she? She said she doesn't know the culture, so why should she start now? I tried to lighten up the mood by exposing my bad German-speaking skills, hopefully inciting a chuckle or two from my brooding mother-in-law, but that only seemed to make things worse. She didn't seem to care about my explanation. Instead, she went on to berate me for not embracing my heritage and seemed disappointed in me, as if I was somehow failing her expectations as her daughter-in-law. It hurt. but I tried my best to brush it off. As time went on, our interactions became even more strained. Every time we spoke, it felt like I was walking on eggshells. I didn't want to upset her, but it seemed like nothing I did was ever enough to earn her approval. She would criticize my choices, question my abilities, and make me feel inadequate, especially because of my disability. Oliver knew about the tension between his mother and me, and he tried his best to mediate, but it was challenging. He loved us both, and it pained him to see us not getting along. He hoped that over time things would improve, but that wasn't the case. Despite the difficult relationship with Irma, Oliver and I were determined to build a life together. We dreamed of starting a family, and we couldn't wait to embrace the joys of parenthood. We knew we had so much love to give, and we wanted to share it with a little bundle of joy. As we prepared for this new chapter in our lives, I couldn't help but wish that Irma could be more involved and supportive. I yearned for a strong bond with my mother-in-law, like many of the friends had with theirs. I hoped that becoming a mother myself might bridge the gap between us. On our wedding day, Irma finally came to the US to attend the ceremony. Believe it or not, it was the first time we met in person, and while I hoped for a positive connection, at best she seemed distant and uninterested, and at worst, well, let me just tell you one of the things she said to me on my special day. So, not only are you unable to speak your mother tongue, you're unable to walk down the aisle on your own wedding day. How pathetic. It took the makeup artist another 30 minutes to fix my makeup after I was crying at my mother-in-law's hurtful words. And no, I didn't tell Oliver about this little piece of information just because I knew how upset and angry he'd be. After the wedding, she hurriedly flew back to Germany, as if actively avoiding any deeper connection with me and America in general. I knew she hated it here, but geez. Oh boy, let me tell you, those couple of years after the wedding, with little to no communication with Irma, were absolutely blissful. They were like a breath of fresh air for me. I got to fully embrace the positive aspects of my life, focusing on my career, my marriage, and attempts of motherhood. I felt like I was flourishing, unburdened by the negativity that used to surround me. But then one day, Oliver dropped a bombshell. He told me that Irma was coming to visit and she'd be staying with us in our home. My heart sank at the news. The memories of our previous interactions flooded back, and I couldn't shake the uneasy feeling in the pit of my stomach. I knew I had to be polite and welcoming, but I couldn't help but worry about how this visit would unfold. Oliver assured me that his mother had changed and that she had become a better person. Trust me, babe, you're not going to believe how much she's changed. She's learned to appreciate the value of family and wanted to be a part of our lives. Maybe it's the fact that she's getting older and she wants the last years of her life to be surrounded by love. But I'm telling you, she's a better woman now. I wanted to believe him. I really did. But I couldn't help but be skeptical. The day finally arrived when Irma stepped through our front door, and it didn't take long for her true colors to emerge. She started picking everything apart, from the decor to the way I managed the household. And guess what? She blamed it all on me, claiming that as the woman of the house, it was my duty to take care of everything. I tried my best to defend myself, explaining that I loved our home and that I did the best I could to make it beautiful given my physical condition. But she wouldn't listen. Instead, she continued to criticize and belittle me. So what do you do all day since all you do is stay at home? I took a deep breath, preparing myself for this conversation. I work from home, Irma. I work as a content writer and affiliate marketer. She scoffed, not taking me seriously at all. Work from home? That can't be a real job. You're just lounging around, freeloading and enjoying a free ride off my son. Mama, stop it right now. You told me that she's not a complete and raging ableist now. Okay, I didn't use those words exactly, but yes, she told me that she wouldn't cause any trouble. Mom, please, can you behave yourself? What the heck? I'm sorry, Schatz, but I wasn't expecting this. I mean, seriously, how could you expect me to respect her when this is the crap she does? Her words stung like 1,000 daggers. It felt like she was undermining all the effort I had put into building my career. I wanted to scream that I had worked tirelessly to achieve my success and that my disability didn't define my abilities. But I knew it would fall on deaf ears. Despite my attempts to explain my job and its significance, she remained dismissive. She treated me like I was a child who had no idea about the real world. It was infuriating and hurtful all at once. Throughout her stay, Irma made it clear that she didn't respect me or my choices. She kept comparing me to other women who were more traditional in their roles, making me feel inadequate and worthless. As the days passed, Irma's cruel and demeaning behavior only seemed to intensify during her stay with us. It was as if she was on a mission to make me feel small and insignificant. She had this uncanny ability to disturb me when I was working, questioning why I was always hiding behind a computer instead of putting more effort into cooking and cleaning and making our home look better. You know, all that traditional crap that she was obsessed with. At first I tried to reason with her, standing up for myself and explaining that my work was important and deserving of respect. But dealing with her constant rudeness was exhausting, and her intimidating presence made it even harder to assert myself. Sometimes I found the strength to fight back, refusing to be disrespected in my own home. Other times I would shut down, unable to handle the emotional toll her words took on me, and I'd excuse myself to cry it out in private. I confided in my husband, hoping he could offer some support or advice on dealing with his mother. As usual, he sympathized with me, but he didn't know what to do either. It seemed like we were both at a loss, unsure of how to handle this situation that had become increasingly uncomfortable. One night, after yet another unpleasant encounter with Irma, I made the difficult decision to share a painful memory with Oliver. I mustered up the courage to tell him about what happened on our wedding day, how Irma had made me ruin my makeup by being so blatantly ableist and disrespectful towards me on my special day. Oliver's reaction was one of fury. Honestly, I was a little bit scared. His face turned red and his eyes blazed with anger as he stomped out of our bedroom. This all went down in the middle of the night, by the way, but he didn't care. He went straight to Irma's room and woke her up, demanding an explanation for her behavior. Their heated argument erupted in German, and though I didn't understand every word, I caught some snippets of the conversation. Oliver was defending me vehemently, while Irma seemed to be justifying her actions with stubbornness. Greta is my wife, and I won't stand for you treating her this way. I mean, really, Mom. On our wedding day? Irma's tone remained dismissive. She's just a child, Oliver. Relying on you for everything, you deserve someone better. She then turned to me and said, Get out of here, freeloader. Nobody wants you here. Although she'd said crap like that all throughout her stay here, her words cut deep. There was something about the way she got all up in my face, as if to say that I was like a cockroach, like the dirt underneath her shoe. And for her to blatantly try to kick me out of my own home? Somebody better hold my earrings. The argument went on for what felt like an eternity, and I found myself waiting angrily and anxiously, unsure of how it would all unfold. But eventually Irma's words confirmed my worst fears. She was determined to see me as a burden, unworthy of her respect and love. As I listened from afar, the tears welled up in my eyes and a mix of emotions overwhelmed me. On one hand, I was hurt and angry that Irma saw me this way. On the other hand, I felt a sense of relief knowing that Oliver was standing up for me, defending my worth as his wife. Didn't you hear me? I said get out. She's not going anywhere. If anything, you should be the one getting kicked out. Ha, So you're bold enough to kick out your own mother? After everything I've done for you? After leaving my beautiful country to come here? You're damn right, Ma. I can't have you treating my wife like this any longer. I can't believe how passive I've been. But I see now that I would rather choose my wife over you any day. Oliver, stop. No. How can you tell me to stop when she's been treating you like crap for so long? Your mother has issues, obviously. But maybe I need to leave, at least for some time, just to clear my head. Oh, baby, there's no way I'm letting you leave. No, Ollie, I mean it. I need space. Don't stop me and don't follow me. Good riddance. Ma, I swear to God, if you say something else. Wait, Greta, don't go. Before I could let him stop me, I wheeled off into our room to begin packing an overnight bag, as well as checking available rooms in hotels nearby. I was sick of constantly being attacked. It was cruel and unfair, and I didn't want to see that lady's face for a second longer. I heard Oliver and Irma continue to argue, but I didn't have the energy to interject a second time. I managed to escape that hellhole, get into my car, and check in at a hotel, all the while ignoring my husband's calls. All right, let me tell you what happened after I left for that hotel. 3 days had gone by since I left, and let me tell you, those 3 days were like heaven. Seriously. No more dealing with Irma's toxic attitude and negative vibes. It was just me, myself, and peace and quiet. I got to admit, finding a nice and accessible hotel at such short notice was a win for me. It made me realize how blessed I am, despite my ability to have the means to treat myself to a little escape like that. So there I was, chilling in my hotel room, binge-watching Netflix, and feeling like a weight had been lifted off my shoulders. But then, out of the blue, guess who calls? Yep, you got it. My lovely mother-in-law, Irma. I was kind of hesitant to answer, but my curiosity got the best of me. She sounded different on the phone, like she lost her usual fiery tone. And you know what she had to say? Oliver spilled the beans about my success in my career, making it clear that I was the one bringing home the big bucks. 25 grand a month. The tremble in her voice was almost worth the trouble she caused me. She couldn't believe it. So she went and Googled me herself. Apparently Oliver also told her to Google me herself, and sure enough, she found my blogs and websites as well as my success story. Finally, she had to admit that she was wrong about me. But let me tell you, that lady can't help herself. Greta, I'm so sorry for how I treated you all these years. I had no idea. You had no idea that what? That I made a lot of money? Well, that shouldn't change anything, Irma. You don't treat people based on what they have to offer. You're right, and I see the error of my ways now. I should have never been so cruel to you. But I do have to tell you something that not even Oliver knows. You see, I've been struggling financially and, oh boy, here we go. I need some funds. I was hoping to get some from Ollie, but considering you and your financial status... Oh, so now you want my help after treating me like a dog? She goes from, I'm sorry, to give me money in the blink of an eye. Like seriously, after all the crap she put me through, she thinks she can waltz in and ask for a handout? I couldn't stop myself from laughing in disbelief. She must be out of her mind to think I'd give her a single cent. I mean, she never cared about me or my well-being, and now she wants a piece of the pie? I let her have it, no holds barred. You know what, Irma? You're a miserable and pathetic woman for even thinking I'd help you out. It was like all the years of her nonsense came rushing back, and I had to let it all out. I don't think she expected that reaction. What? How could you say that to me? Oh, shut up. After everything, you'd be lucky if I even came to your funeral, which honestly can't come soon enough. She began stuttering and sounding completely defeated, which honestly felt kind of good. I finally found the guts to stand up to her and let her know I wanted nothing to do with her. Here's what's going to happen, Irma. You're going to pack your bags and you're going to get the hell out of my house. When I return home, I want it to be like you were never there to begin with. And honestly, it should stay that way because you're dead to me. I mean it. Don't contact me. Don't talk to me. If you ever see me again, don't act like you know me. You have no place in my life. That's absurd. You're my daughter-in-law. I'll have to be in your life one way or another. Yes, unfortunately that's true, but I'm keeping my boundaries. You're obviously entitled to talking with your son, but as for me and my child, you're out of our lives. Child? What child? Oh, Irma, what a shame. I thought Oliver would have told you by now. I'm pregnant. At this news, Irma began to sob. I didn't think I'd ever hear her do that. I was shocked, believe me. She started a whole spiel about how she always wanted to have grandchildren. Well, it's too bad that you won't be in my child's life. I'm sorry, Irma, but you've done enough damage, and as a mother, I can't let you taint my child's life with your toxic and evil behavior. Greta, please, don't do this to me. Go to hell, Irma. I'll be coming home in the next hour. You'd better be out by that time, or else I'm a-calling the cops. A few more futile attempts at regaining access to my life were made, but my mind was already made up. She was a twisted woman, and I didn't feel the least bit bad for kicking her out of my home and my life. I didn't care that she regretted her decisions. All I cared about was the health of my baby. The love that Oliver and I couldn't wait to share with them, as well as our growing success. Bitter people deserve bitter endings, and I'm not sorry for it one bit.